I started writing a blog just over 2 years ago because I was about to go to a conference in the States for a couple of days. And before that, I was in London at a meeting, and I was conscious that I was out of the office for quite a long time. And when that happens, people bump into me and say, "What have you been doing? Where have you been? What do you do at these conferences?" And I thought, well, rather than tell everybody, I'll write it down. So I decided to start a blog, and I went to see somebody in CiCS and said, "Create me a blog." And they went, "No, create your own," which was very helpful, I thought. So I was in London, and I was in a hotel room one night on my own, and I thought, well, I'll see if I can do it. And I logged into Google and created a Google account and created a blog account with Blogger and wrote my first blog post. And then over the next few weeks, gradually taught myself how to add photos and put Google Analytics on so I knew who was looking at the blog and things. So I was quite proud of myself. I did it all on my own. And so it started off with me writing down what I was doing. It's sort of a standard blog, I suppose. Today I've been to a conference and I've been to a session on. And that was good, and I still do that. If I'm at a conference, I will still write up the sessions and put links to the presentations and links to the videos and say what I think about the sessions. So I hope then if people read it, if they see something interesting, they'll come and ask me about it, or they'll go and look at the presentation material. So it was a way of sort of telling people what I was doing without repeating myself too much. And I often do write up reports of conferences, but this was a way of getting them out to the whole department. And I think that's another important thing if you are writing a blog, is deciding who your target audience is. And mine was very clearly the department. When I started writing it, I was writing it for people in the department to find out what I was doing. And actually what's interesting is then the way blogs evolve, because I started to notice that people outside of the department were reading it, and then people outside of the university, and then people outside of the UK. So I have changed slightly now how I write it, because I am conscious that people are reading it from outside. But my target audience is actually still the department. I still, when I write it, think, what would the department think of this, and would they be interested in it? But it's become a combination now of what I'm doing. So have I been somewhere, have I been to a conference, have I been to a meeting that's particularly interesting? And now I'm more likely to write blog posts as well about things I'm interested in. So I'll give you a good example. This morning I've come in, I've written a blog post about a service that was launched yesterday from Google called Google Wave, which looks amazing, I think. So I've just written really a little post saying this came out yesterday, go and have a look at it. So there's a bit of sort of technology futures looking as well now in the blog, as well as just what did I do today. So I suppose that's why I started, and what I like about it is the way people can comment, and people can tell me they disagree with me, which they do, or people can agree with me, or people can ask me questions. People can, if they want to, and they don't do it very often, write quite personal comments on it, and I've taken the decision not to moderate any comments, so I let people write what they want, but I do delete them if they get too nasty. But it does form this sort of bit of a community. I mean, I know now there's a regular group of people who read it and who post on it. Some people use the real name, some people post anonymously. That's fine by me, I don't mind. So yeah, I think it's progressed from just being a this is what I do to a this is what I find interesting. Do you find it interesting as well? So that's probably a summary.